So hello everyone, welcome to our new video, our new day, and this video is all about bubble sort. Previously we have already seen a sorting technique, that is selection sort. Many techniques are there, but these two are very basic. First one was our selection sort, which we have seen here. That was our selection sort. You can go to the link and see the previous video, that is selection sort. But today our video will be bubble sort. Now friends, let me just ask you that what is a bubble? A bubble, I think you have seen, means in water sometimes you have seen, or soap water or something, that bubble comes up. A bubble comes up. So a bubble comes up means this is not looking as a bubble, this is looking something else. So you can imagine a bubble. What happens on a water surface is the bubble or the light element comes up, and the if anything heavier is present, that it goes down. So that is the concept in our bubble sorting technique. How to sort it? There will be two kinds of two loops. First one is the outer loop, and second one is the inner loop. Whenever the inner loop runs, the always remember the inner loop runs always minus I, means 1 less than the I value. First time, let me explain it in further words. First time the inner loop will run from the 0th position of the array till the last. Second time it will run from the first position of the array till the second last element. Third time again it will run till the third last element, and like this it will run. The inner loop will run. Whenever the inner loop, what happens is, first the inner loop value is this. It selects the first cell and checks whether this element is greater than this element or not. Checks whether this element is greater than this element or not. If this element is greater than this element, then 15 will come here. Obviously it is greater. 15 will come here and 12 will go here. Okay, again it checks whether 15 here present here is greater than this element or not. If it is, then again it will be exchanged. If not, then again this element will be selected. It will be checked whether this element is greater than this element or not. If it is, yes it is, it will be exchanged with this element, and this element will go here. So 45 will come here, 45 will come here. Then again it will be checked whether 45 is greater than this element or not. If it is, then it will be exchanged, but no, it is not greater. So again this element will be taken, and it will be checked whether this element is greater than this element or not. Yes, it is greater than this element, so it will be 56 will come here and 10 will go here. As you can see, only this element is sorted, or this part of the array which has only one element, that is sorted. This part is not sorted. Okay, but this one is sorted. That means whenever the inner loop first time it will run, it will send the greatest element at the last of the array. Okay, it will send the greatest element at the end of the array, but other remaining part of the array will remain unsorted. So again we have to run the loop from 0th position till the second last element, again 0th position to the third last element, then again fourth last element, fifth last element, then the last element. Obviously it is sorted. So like this bubble sort works. Whenever bubble sort first time it runs, it checks all the elements simultaneously, means side by side all the elements it checks, it goes on checking, and the greatest element it takes and throws away at the last of the array. Okay, and the other elements, they are unsorted. Then again from the first, again the loop starts before the last element it ends for the second time. Okay, then again the second last element in this second time the loop runs, the second last element goes to the second last position, and like this the whole array becomes sorted. So in bubble sort technique, always remember the greatest element is whichever element is the greatest, the greatest element goes to the last position. Like this, the second largest will go to the second last position, third largest will go to the third last position. Like this, it is sorted. Okay. Now, obviously, if the last and greatest element is already sent to the last position, then the last position, then this inner loop shouldn't run up to the end of the array, because this part is already sorted. Okay, 56 should be here. Okay, that is his genuine position for sorting the array in ascending order. This is the genuine position. So, whatever thing is, then the second time the loop will run before the last position, just before the last position. Okay, when we will write it, it will be much more clear for you. And remember one thing, this sorting techniques, binary search, linear search, these things I am explaining, I am trying to share with you all. So in case of selection sort and bubble sort, I am explaining the ascending order, but try in your home, try to practice the descending order as well. Okay, I am doing the ascending order, you can practice with the descending order as well. This will make your concept much more clear. So let us write it. Here I have already written selection sort. Let me update it with bubble sort. Let me just update it with our bubble sort. Bubble sort. The name is very funny, bubble sort. So an array we need to declare of length 6. Minimum we don't need. Temp we don't need. Oh, temp we need. Sorry, temp we need here. So accepted the elements of the array, that is enter elements of array. We have accepted the elements of the array. Then here 0 to 6, it is correct. Minimum we don't need. J will run from, obviously every time the J loop runs or the inner loop runs from the 0th position, so the fixed value or the first value of J will always be 0. But this time it will not run till less than 6. Previously it was less than 6, but this time we will have to subtract the last. Every time we have to subtract the last cell, and second time the two or the last cells we have to subtract. For example, for the first time, we delete these all. For the first time, what we have to do is we have to go till the last position. Second time we have to go to the second last position. Up till the second last position the loop will run. Third time it will run third last up to here. So like this, every time the I value we are subtracting from the J value, the upper limit of the J value. First time if we subtract, for example, this time if we write minus I, first time it will be 6 minus 0. So up till less than 6 it will run. Second time it will be 6 minus 1. That means 5. Okay, less than 5. It will leave the last two cells. So like that it will run. Okay. So now this much I think it is very clear. Now here we are not finding any minimum part, so we don't have to do this. We don't have to do this. What we have to do is J will remain as it is. J will remain as it is. Here we have to check whether J is greater than M. See here, M J plus 1 or not. Whether J plus 1 it is present or not. Okay. So here J value was, starting value was 0. We have to check whether the 0th part, means the 0th position, is greater than the J plus 1 value or not. If it is greater, what we have to do? We have to do here. This thing we have to do. We have to just cut it, paste it here. We have to change a little bit. So if this part is greater, so obviously MJ, the position at J will have to be kept empty. We have to leave it empty. We have to one second. We have to make it empty. So J becomes empty. So in the J position, we have to write J plus 1, means the smaller value will come to the 0th position, and 0th position value was greater. See, here it is greater. So greater part will go to the right position. Done. J is already initialized. J plus 1 has nothing, so it will be temp. So we have exchanged it. We have just exchanged it. Now we will just print it. Let's see whether it works or not. Let's see. 15, 12, 45, 1, 56, 10. Let's go. 15, 12, 45, 15, 12, 45, then 1, 56, 10. Okay. 1, 56, 10. Sorry. What is this? Array J out of bounds. Yes. Index 6 out of bounds for length 6. 6 it will not be, because what we have given the size 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. So it will be obviously every time. It will obviously uh, this should be. This shouldn't be, right? This shouldn't be. This shouldn't be. If the size is that, oh yes, the size, oh no, this was less than j. J is less than this 6. If it is 0, if this is 0, 0 to 6 minus 0, that means 5, obviously. So this is 0, then this is this. Then the last position will be 5. 5 will be 5 plus 1. 5 will be 5 plus 1, that is 6th position. 6th position doesn't exist. Whenever j will be 5, what will be the value of here? I is 1, 2, 3. I is 1, 2, and 3. Wait a little bit. Sometimes this kind of problem arises, and that becomes a little hectic to solve. But let me try. But I think this should work like this, because first value of j, if is 0, then it will 0 to 5, because 6 minus 0 is 6, less than, that means up till 5, 0 to 5. Next time j value will be 1. Okay, for example, till 6. First time the largest value will be stored there, then I value will be 1, 2, 3, 4, like this it will run. And if it I value is 5, I value, if I value becomes 5, then 6 minus 5 is 1. Yes, that is also correct. Yes, I value will be 5, so 6 minus, that should be the thing should be like that. The thing should be like that, because this is the case. Let me write this. If j equal 5, sorry, you have to write this there. If j equal 5, if j equal 5 here, paste, we will break it. Okay, we will break it as soon as it reaches 5, because 6th index is not there. Okay, it doesn't exist. That's why it's an error, but it shouldn't come according to my calculation. But let's see. First value was 15, 12, then 15, 12, 45, 1, 56, 10. 45, 1, 56, 10. See, 1, 10, 12, 15, 45, 56. According to me, that error shouldn't come, but since that error is coming, I have just what I have done. See what I have done. It was saying that array index is out of bounds. That means somehow or the other it was becoming that here j was 5 and here j was 6, but at 6th position of the array nothing is present. 6th index do not exist, and that's why that error was coming. So whenever here j in case j becomes 5, I just wrote a code or a small line that if j becomes 5, just break it. Okay, so that error will not come, that error will not occur. Okay, to remove that error I have just done this, but I don't know why this error is coming, but It shouldn't be, but still if it is coming, so you just write like this and it will work. Generally this is not the code, this part is not written in the examination. If you don't write this in your paper, if you don't write this, doesn't matter. But while in the practical, if you see that the result is not coming, that time you have to do something for the result to occur. That's why it is a runtime error, not a syntax error or any error in the sorting technique. So if it occurs, we just write like this. Okay, so whatever we have done, let's summarize it. First we have created that we have called all the packages of java.util. Then we have declared a class, made a class bubble short. These things are simple, that we have made an array of length 6. We have entered the elements of the array. Now here comes the important part, that is I value becomes 0 to 6, not 6 less than 6. So 0 to 5 it will work, the outer loop. Inner loop will work from 0 to less than 6 minus I. 0 to 6 less than 6 means 0 to 5, but every time it shouldn't run from 0 to 5, because no point, because whenever it runs for one time, this inner loop, the largest element gets stored in the last cell of the array. So that last cell is already sorted, that part we don't have to change, or we don't have to do anything with that. So we have to subtract that index. That index cannot be subtracted like that. If we just do the last index less than 6 minus I, if we write, so every time if I value is 0, so first time when it runs, 6 minus 0 is 6, so less than 6 means 0 to 5. So 0 to 5 first time it will run, that means the whole length of the array. Then second time I value becomes 1. So whenever value becomes 1, j will become 0 to less than 6 minus I, means 6 minus 1 means 5. So less than 5 means 0 to 4. Okay, less than means 0 to 4. That means till the last second last index of the array. So like this, one particular cell we will every time subtract from the last of the array, because that part is already sorted. Okay, now since that error was coming, that whenever j was becoming 5, and here it was it was accessing the 6th index of the array, which is not present. So that's why that error was coming. That's why I have written this here. But usually this is not given. This error doesn't come. But since in my case it was coming, so I have written this. Okay. If you want, you can write, or if that error is not coming in your case, then no need to write. Okay. You check this and write this for descending order. And if you are seeing this video, then please write that code in the comment section. I will like to see it. I will be glad to see that. Okay. Now here j position means the 0th position we have accessed, and we are checking that whether it is greater than the next index after it. Okay, if it is, that means if this condition satisfies, that means this is the largest element. In this case, this is larger than the element after it. Okay, so that afterwards whichever element is present, that element has to come in mj's position. That swapping is done using third variable temporary. A variable is stored in that variable mj position, whatever element is there, that is stored, so that mj position becomes empty, or we can manipulate with that position. Then at mj's position we have stored mj plus 1, and at mj plus 1 position we have stored whatever value we had in mj's position. Okay, that temp value we have stored. So we have just swapped the elements if first element is greater than the second element, like that. Okay, we have just swapped, and it will continue till the last of the array. And like this, the greatest element will store at the last position, second largest will store at the second last, third largest at the third last, fourth largest at the fourth last, sorry, second largest at the second last, sorry, third largest at the third last, fourth largest at the fourth last, fifth largest at the fifth last, and obviously then the array is already sorted because fifth position is done. So then we will just print the array using a for loop. This is that, and I think you got it. You got to know about bubble sort. Please try it in a descending order. That will clear your concept, and post it in the comment section. Like the video, subscribe the video if you got anything to learn, or I was able to share something with you. Okay, no negative comments, please. Respect everyone. We are also trying our best to do something or to share something. So if you just like it, please tell us. If you don't like it, why you don't like it, please tell us how we can improve that. Also, you can say. Okay, so for wait for our next video. Till then, stay safe. Bye bye. Thank you.